super light e-bikes? Do we give them a yay or a nay?
Oh, man, I hate to plug one of my own videos in your video, but
No, go for it. Go for it.
we literally just did a Trek Rail versus Trek Fuel EXE video.
Yep.
Um, so that being said, I think that what did you call it, SL category?
Yeah, super light category. Yep.
Okay, super light. Okay. We've been calling it the e-bike light category.
Okay.
But yeah, the super lights, I like them.
Yep.
I don't know that I would buy one.
Yep.
It it's hard for me because I feel like I've committed to being an e-biker, right? At this
Yep.
point, like it's hard to say still, but I, I've accepted how full power e-bikes ride,
Yep.
and so for me, an SL is a step backwards.
Yep.
Um, it's a step backwards in power. It's a step backwards in range,
Yep.
and it's a step backwards in the amount of elevation I can gain. So that being said, I don't know why I would want less now, and I understand that I might be getting less of those things, but I'm getting more in terms of a playful, lively, light mountain bike experience.
Yep.
But um, I don't know, man. I just feel like my riding and what I want out of an e-bike experience has changed. And while I welcome more and better SL bikes, I don't think it's what I would buy personally if I was going to spend money on an e-bike.
Uh, couldn't have said it better myself. I'll have a little check in here. I've been now on, I'd say like my e-bikes are like 22, 25, 26 kilos, somewhere around that. So what, 45, I don't know. I'm not a pound guy, but
Okay.
they're heavy. They're heavy e-bikes, full powered e-bikes. And I went
Yeah.
out and rode, I've got a little commensal dirt jumper, try to, dip my toes in the water now and then. And I went to the dirt jumps and I crashed so badly, landed on my head because I just over jumped this jump by like 2 meters because the bike's so light. So I am so ingrained in a full powered e-bike now. I actually like the weight.
Yeah.
I like it for jumping. I like it for plowing. I like it for cornering. Um,
Very.
and I don't, yeah, and I've got a Kenevo SL and I've got a Levo Gen 3. And the Levo Gen 3 has about 4,000 Ks on it, and the Kenevo SL has about 500.
Yeah.
So proof's in the pudding. But
So, okay, so let me ask you this. Why do you go out to the garage and pick the Levo instead of the Kenevo SL?
just because, well, mainly because of the friends I ride with, because everyone's on full powered e-bikes.
Okay.
But if I'm going out, um, now I did have a Levo SL, which was one of my favorite bikes. Um, I don't like riding the Kenevo SL in my local trails on my own because I can get so rowdy on that bike that I can get hurt. Like it's a bike that just wants you to go hard. Like it
Okay.
only like you've ridden the Kenevo SL, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. For me, it's the bike that just needs to be ridden at 95% to really to feel the potential of that bike. It needs to be ridden
Okay.
hard.
How about
And
the Levo SL?
the Levo SL was just a really fun bike for me to ride. It
Yeah.
it gave me more feedback from the trail. That bike got more Ks than the Kenevo SL, and if I had people to ride the Kenevo SL with, I would definitely ride it more. I love that bike. I love how it rides, but just the group of friends I have are all full powered, so
Yeah.
that's what gets ridden. Um, and quickly, have you ridden the Fazua Ride 60?
No.
No.
No. Our Sour Patch has ridden it, and he really likes it.
Yeah.
um, there's two bikes that another bike that we can't officially talk about that will be a very big competitor in the super light category. I'm sure fans out there could guess what it is. Um, and he liked that Fazua as much, if not maybe even a little bit better. So I'm very excited to get on it and try it out.
Yeah, for me, I mean, the fact that Porsche bought Fazua like a year ago, and that it just seems like it seems interesting. It seems like we've got, for the riders out there, it is 60 newton meters of power.
Mhm.
We've got a 430 watt hour battery, and the range numbers. It sounds quite efficient on range, so it sounds like you can get pretty good elevation out of it.
Yeah.
So for
I
me, that could be the sweet spot.
I'm very excited. I am excited about SLs, and I want them to change my mind because I would love to ride a 10-pound lighter bike.
Yeah, me too.
But for me, right now, the type of riding I do when I go out on an SL, I'm like, and we, like I said, to go back to that video, right? The Trek Rail versus the EXC, that's a Bosch bike versus the TQ. And the
Yep.
TQ currently is one of my favorite SL motors from a power and feel perspective.
Hmm.
I don't think it's that efficient, maybe, and don't quote me or officially say this, but it's the battery range on that EXC is not great. We do have a range extender coming from Trek. After we published this video,
Yep.
Trek was like, "Hey, we're just about to get some. I'll put one in the mail." So I feel like the SL bikes with a range extender, I could be okay with.
Yeah.
Um, and that's why I think like the new Orbea Rise, I'm really excited about because it's going to
Yep.
have a 504, I think, or
Yep.
in there that
Pretty
we ordered,
sure. Yep.
and I think that'll be a good size for the SL because you'll still be able to just run it in boost the whole time, which is what I want to do.
Yep.
And I can still get a good amount of laps in on the bike.
Yep. That's a good. If you've got an hour on your e-bike, are you going boost everywhere, turbo everywhere?
Yeah, yeah, I'm going all boost all the time.
I don't get people. My friends like come back from a ride. They're like, "Yeah, I came back with 60% battery." I'm like, "Why? Why? Turbo everywhere, man!" And just like, I'm still like getting like a really good workout on turbo. I'm just smashing the trails as hard as possible and going back and back. Like, yeah, I'm turbo boost everywhere.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. The only like what I tell people is if you didn't get a good workout in turbo, you weren't trying hard enough.
I know, I know. I
Like,
mean, my heart rate goes like 180 when I'm going downhill.
yeah,
So, and then when we're climbing back up, yeah, just smashing it. Love it. And Legend Riders, I hope you enjoyed that little clip from the podcast I did the other day with the legend Drew Rohde from the Lone Wolf. We talked for about an hour and a half, all trends for 2023 in the electric mountain bike industry. We also let a few secrets slide. So if you want to see the full hour and a half, click on the link up here and check it out. And riders, if you haven't subscribed to Sam's Bikes, please do so. Share it with like-minded people, and I'm going to see you next time.